and do the work.
Oh, yeah.
But I imagine that you've taken great pride in exposing him to what you do and him taking a liking to it.
Yeah, it's, you know, I'm there so much. I'm spending so much time there. I've been very fortunate to work for people that have allowed him to be there with me. You know, Brian Bellick in Baltimore way back, you know, in 2000, allowed him to be around. He had to know how to act, had to know what his boundaries were, but he's been around ball all his life. And so I think it's in his blood. I think it's part of who he is, and I think he's really taken a liking to it, obviously.
And are there NFL teams where they say no kids at the facility?
Yeah, there are a few operations that don't allow access, that don't allow kids to be around. And fortunately, I've been with guys that have been pretty good about allowing access and really understanding how much we give. You know, we give everything we have to the organization, and so to be able to have your kid be there, know the boundaries, but have him be there, be a part of it, be around practices, be around meetings, things like that has been invaluable.
And so you kind of paid it forward if you saw how Billick was doing it, and then you got to run your own show and you could do the same thing.
Right, I did, and I always encouraged it with our staff, you know, because the families invest so much, and it's different. And so I always said, hey, they have to know right from wrong. They have to know what their boundaries are, what they can and can't do, but I'd like to have them around.
Sure. The kid has had unbelievable access to this point, and now it only gets better being a high school senior and being able to be at the facility around one of the all-time greats in Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I actually showed him a memo from the league office that said that college players can't do that. So I said you better enjoy it while you can this last year, and hopefully in the next year the commissioner will rethink that stance. But anyway, yeah, it's a rare opportunity. You got a guy like Peyton Manning who has said, hey, Luke, on his own, Peyton did this. Said, it wasn't my deal. I had no idea. He said, hey, Luke, I want you to be a part of this. Back in New Orleans, I was allowed to be around, and I was allowed to go out on the practice field and be in quarterback meetings. And I want to do that for you. I want you to come and join us. And so Luke has been able to take advantage of that in meetings with Peyton Manning. Heck, I want to go in there. You know, I mean, this is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And the things that you might be able to gain from him, the knowledge that you may be able to gain from him, very, very cool.
And I think the thing I appreciate just in knowing him for 10 minutes is you don't have to say to him, do you realize what you have here? Because he does. Yeah.
No, his mom's done a great job. You know, he really has always been grounded. He's always had a pretty good feel for being there, and appreciating the moment and not taking it for granted. And so that's good because that makes it all really special.
Hey, maybe you can shed some light on this, not just about Luke, but about sons of coaches.
Yeah.
Why do college recruiters and pro evaluators place a premium on the sons of coaches?
Well, he's grown up. He's watched the do's and don'ts of the business. I think, you know, when you get a coach's son, in most cases you're going to get a kid that has work ethic, that has an understanding of the game of football, that he's watched his dad sacrifice, so he understands the sacrifice he's going to have to make. And it's really hard to be good in this business if you don't sacrifice. So I think that's a valuable thing for them to learn. And I know my son, because of some of that, now he's also had some sacrifice he's had to make, personal sacrifice himself. But he's been exposed to so much that experience has been very valuable.
It's almost like once you're in the NFL, you're in the bubble and it can move towns, but you're still within the NFL, I imagine.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Although organizationally, it's different from team to team, but certainly there is something to that.
All right. How tough is it for you to just be a dad and step back? I imagine he had some home visits already before he committed to OSU. Was it tough to sit in the living room and listen to the pitch and try to be a dad, or what was your role?
No, it's not hard to be a dad. I'm a dad first. I am a coach. I've been a head coach. I've done all those things, and so I can't help but have a certain perspective, you know, having done that. But first and foremost, you know, I'm his dad. When I'm in the stands, I'm more nervous for his events, for his ball games, than anything I've ever done myself. So there's just something about watching your boy, and I share it with other dads in the stands. You know, it's like, you know, this is really cool. And then Dad will say, yeah, I'm really nervous. I say, yeah, me too. I haven't been nervous like this, really ever.
And I imagine unless you're on a road trip or you got to get to Buffalo before it snows, you'll be able to see his games on Fridays.
Yeah, it works out. High school, it'll become a problem in college, but right now in high school, they play on either Thursday or Friday, so I'm able to make all of his games. I made every single one.
Talk a little bit about the difficulty of transition from Jacksonville to Denver and from being the boss to being an assistant.
Yeah.
Because, it's easy for you to just deal with you, but you got a whole family in tow.
Yeah, I give the family credit, because for me, my part's easy. I'm plugging in. I'm going from a situation that had 9 great years, and it was time to go. And I found a great spot to land in Denver with John Fox, John Elway, now Peyton Manning. So that part was easy. I plugged in. Now, from Luke's standpoint, I wouldn't have taken the job. I asked him before I took the job. I said, now, do you want me to stay here? He said, no, I want you to take a job that you like, and I'm coming with you. I said, wow, okay, you're willing to do that? He goes, yeah. So I said, all right. I took the job on a Friday. I got the job. On Saturday, I flew back, told him, okay, we're leaving tomorrow. Pack. So he packed for a couple weeks, and we went up Sunday, flew back, and we were looking at schools Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He was in school by Friday that same week. So, again, that's where the sacrifice that he's given. Not everybody can even comprehend picking up in the middle of your junior year. You're an athlete that wants to play in college, and Dad's saying, hey, let's go.
I just kicked those sticks. Is it still okay? Yeah, okay. Maybe that's where, being the NFL gypsy comes into his makeup, and he's able to do that without missing a beat.
Yeah, because he hasn't missed a beat. I think certainly, he was in one place for 9 years, which was a blessing. But he didn't bat an eye. I mean, he jumped right up there, started competing with the football team, earned his spot as a starter, caught up in school, and made new friends. And so, I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of him for the character he showed in really an adverse situation, difficult circumstances. He's been a real pro.
Almost sounds like he just embraced it as a new adventure.
Yeah, I guess. When I tell people the story, they're like, what? You did what? He did what? And if you really look at it, it is pretty shocking, pretty impressive. But he did it, and he's made friends. He's been just everything you want in a son. He's gone up there and handled it like a champ, and really proud of him.
I suppose, though, that ability to adapt on the fly is the type A leader quarterback, the kind of qualities you need in a quarterback.
Yeah, well, I'm a little biased, obviously, being his dad, but I think he's got those intangibles that you look for in a quarterback. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's got tremendous work ethic. He's a natural leader, amongst watch him interact with receivers, other quarterbacks, coaching. He's been around it. He knows what it looks like. He's got a good feel for it. And so all those intangibles, it doesn't surprise me to see him. But again, much like him, not taking anything for granted, I really appreciate it. It makes me proud, because as a dad, to have your son be able to do that, it just touches me in a special way to have my boy be able to do that.
We talked a little bit about baseball, and he was saying your favorite sport is actually basketball.
Yeah. And my favorite sport was basketball, and I had to give it up at one point. I was at Southern Cal, and I was able to play baseball and football, and I played intramural basketball, but I couldn't play on the basketball team, so had to give it up. But it was definitely my first love.
You want to prognosticate the 2013 NBA champs?
No. I was happy to see LeBron get his, though.
How's it been for you to transition from Florida and coastal and humid to Denver and the ever-changing
altitude and dry? It's been good. It's been good. I'm wearing a different hat now. I'm not the head coach, so a lot less stress, a lot less to worry about. I don't have to deal with the media every day. And I'm really back in the grass where I can just focus on half of the team and coaching up the defense and inspiring them. And that's the part I'm really drawn to. That's why I'm in this profession. I love to work with young men. I love to help them learn from some of the mistakes that I made, some of the things that went well in my career as a player and as a coach, and then just to go out and compete on the ultimate stage. I mean, where we, have this battle plan put together all week, and we have all this build-up, and then we go out and play a game on Sundays and in front of the whole country. It's pretty cool.
And it seems like just in charting the course of that franchise, it really went from a franchise that was adrift to the whole Tebow mania, and now you have one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever lived.
Yeah. Well, what I know is in my short time there, when I went up there to look to see if I was going to take the job or not, Mr. Bolin, all he wants to do is win a Super Bowl. John Elway, John's got money, he's played in the league, he doesn't need it. He's in it to win a Super Bowl. John Fox I've worked with before, he's a great guy to work for. It was all right for me. And then that was before I didn't know if it was going to be with Tim continuing to be the quarterback or whether they were going to bring somebody. I had no idea. And then all of a sudden we get Peyton Manning. And so I know Peyton very well because for 9 years he's tormented me. So, yeah, I know Peyton very well, and glad to have him on my side.
All right. How natural is it for you to recede into the background and watch your boy flourish here?
Yeah, I have no problem with it. And I love it. I try to. I mean, other than spend a little time with you here talking, like I said, I'm just a dad. I'm up in the stands. My daughter's here. My wife's here. And we're just here rooting them on. And, I'm like all these other parents that are sitting up here, hoping it goes well for their son.
How nice to be back in Southern California.
I love it. Yeah, I miss it. This is really cool out here. And, I haven't been back since I played here, other than to, come into town to play a game or bring Luke out here to do some work. He's come out here to work with a quarterback guy that Steve Clarkson, who works with him out here in L.A. So we've come out here and got some work with Steve, but it's good to be back.
Yeah, I guess in the fall you're rather busy. You can't make it to homecoming.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Someday I'll get that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, geez, you could have spent this year on the beach and just enjoyed life, huh?
Thought about it. Huh. Yeah.
Well, opportunity is opportunity.
Yep.
Anything else I should know about you or Luke?
No, that was good, man. Real thorough. Appreciate it.
Josh actually played high school football in Denver.